Alright, y'all, so today we have a new addition. I know it's been a minute since I posted a video. I wanted to post the install of this, but I don't really have like the patience to kind of make sure the video is going good and then install at the same time, especially because I don't have anybody to help me with installing or with videoing. So, like I said, we're doing something new. It is a turbo, not titanium. It's actually a stainless turbo inlet pipe from PLM for the 10th gen Civic Si, or I think it'll work for the regular like EXTs, like the 1.5 turbo. So we have this piece today, and we're gonna put it all the way up, and I'm gonna show you guys kind of what we're working with here, which I love it, that fact that once you immediately pop the hood, it's kind of like right there, you know. So I'm gonna set the phone down real quick. So essentially this is the setup right here. Turbo inlet, all that good stuff, you know. New actual piping, piping and housing, all that stuff. We got a beautiful like titanium burnt type of look for it. They gave you some big silicone hoses here, which I was kind of struggling to figure out what these are for, but I finally figured it out. And then this as well. This is confusing because factory, it doesn't have, you know, the piping doesn't look like this or like this, or even I am running the PRL Cobra cold air intake. So you know, even the factory PRL Cobra housing isn't this big for the pipe. So yeah, it kind of threw me off in that aspect of having this gigantic thing. But this doesn't look right now because I didn't know that there's a like a half-inch piece in diameter, and it's probably about an inch tall as well. It's supposed to go in there, and that bolts this to that just to make sure, you know, like proper I believe that's a cooling temp piece, so proper cooling temps are good and everything like that. And, you know, like I said, this big piece just goes straight to the valve cover for a vent they have there. A couple things about this kit that I like, but also a couple pieces that I'm not a big fan of. So also, like I said, side note, the fact that you have to order this special coupler from their website, it's only $20, but you know, I just kind of feel like, considering the fact that you have to order this coupler and it doesn't already come with it, like they kind of could have threw it in there for an extra couple dollars. Save time and money, especially when you go to put a part in and then it doesn't have it, and then now you got to order stuff again. So that one piece is the one thing I didn't like about their kit overall. And then this as well, it doesn't mount to the same spot. Like, it'll push back, but then it kind of throws the piping all off and it looks wonky. So I'm leaving it like this for now. Honestly, there's really no big crazy effect to it, to having this on or not. Like, it doesn't wobble too terribly much, and honestly I feel like that wouldn't really make too much of a difference. And yeah, so, but I mean, I probably would like it up just because right now it's kind of sitting on the radiator, so I might go back and adjust that. Yeah, and then right here too, this hose that connects, you know, from the valve cover to the actual turbo pipe, you will need a longer one of these, just because one, it sits on this and gets really hot, and then also, if you can tell, kind of coming out of there, it's really like off to an aggressive bend, just because the hose isn't that long. The hose from your bypass, like I have an upgraded boom bypass valve, so if you're running that, the hose from your bypass valve is short. Actually mine's long enough, so I'm good there, but the clip isn't connected, which I'm observing right now. So now I got to go back and put that clip on and stuff. Thankfully it didn't come off at any point. And also this piece, since this is so big, this normally sits at a 90. Now you have to cut off the side and stuff like that, and then your wires will be kind of exposed. So I'm not a fan of that either. But I'll probably run back and either order somewhere that's like a little plastic wire cover piece, or maybe throw some electrical tape on it, just to kind of pretty it up and, you know, not expose wires looking kind of ugly. And then yeah, also you'll notice like your wires are really, you don't have a lot of play, especially because you have to work around this, which, I mean, it's not too terrible, but I feel like maybe I could have probably tucked it up underneath right there. Yeah, it's not that bad though. And then don't make the same mistake I did. I was really in a rush because it took me 2 days, like between work and everything like that. It took me like probably 5 to 6 hours overall, you know, doing it solo, trying to make sure I had the right bolt and everything. There is a bolt on this that you will need. I think it is a 25 millimeter. You will need an extra. You need to order an extra 25 millimeter bolt to make sure it reaches and threads. And then it's not the one on the outside, but it's more so the one closer to the middle. That it honestly pretty much sits right below the right side of your bypass. It sits kind of right below that. That will need to be. That one is a pain to get in, but honestly, you can stick your hand right in between here and kind of work your way back there and make sure you get it from this side with the socket and really get it in the hole correctly. And then also another thing you can't really see right now, but I think it's the AC compressor belt is right there. It looks like it's gonna rub on the pulley. I haven't heard any sounds that sounds like it's rubbing on the pulley or anything like that, but it gets really close. Like, I mean, when I say really close, I mean you'd be lucky to fit a card from a deck of cards in there. That's how close it is. But overall, it's good. I like it. I love it. Right here, the kit comes with an extra bolt because this bolt from factory is, you know, shorter. It kind of sits back that way more. But they send you a longer one, so that's a plus. They send you some new hoses and stuff too, so that's good. But yeah, kind of going over the kit. I like the kit overall. It looks beautiful in there. It adds some color and some style as opposed to, you know, just, you know, my black charge pipe kit, stuff like that. So it adds some more character to the engine bay. I know my engine bay is dusty and stuff, but you know, overall color wise, you know, you throw some burnt titanium style color, and you know, valve, this red on this valve cover piece might get redone, either silver or white. I'm not sure. If you haven't seen the car exterior wise, white wheels, so I feel it'll match pretty good. Look good when I open the hood. I think, honestly, I think I can see white on it right now. I feel like it'd be really nice. But yeah, so that's kind of the plan. Like I said, wheels are dirty. It's been raining, obviously, as you can tell, but I'm getting attacked by bugs out here. I apologize. Yeah, overall, I like their kit. I enjoy their kit a lot. If you've never went to install a part before, if you've honestly never worked on a car at all, this is definitely not a part you're like, oh, I want to order it, put it in. No, it's not gonna happen like that. Honestly, I feel like that the average person will really get lost really quickly doing this. So I'm not saying like, you know, I'm a master mechanic or anything like that, but yeah, if you're just an average person who's never done an install of anything, even like a cold air intake or anything like that, this is not the part for you to try and install. I would just take it to a shop. For my intercooler and charge pipe kit and for my cold air intake, I took it to a shop for that because I've never installed parts on a new car, like newer age generation. So this is like my first car that I've actually installed parts on myself. This is the first part I actually installed, or actually no, this is second. First part was the lowering springs in the back from RSR. That was my first thing I installed. It was easy. I've trusted myself with suspension components more than I do with my engine components. Just in the aspect of comfortability and with installing them and being confident knowing what I'm doing. But you know, I installed this no problem. Like, if you can take it apart, you can put it together theoretically, and that's kind of what happened here. I took it apart, put it back together, you know, light work. But yeah, and then also just some helpful tips if you're going to, if you haven't yet but you want to install cold air intake or intercooler charge pipe kit or anything like that, and you don't want to take it to a shop and you want to do it yourself, I would definitely recommend pulling off the front bumper, because, you know, obviously the intercooler sits right there. But if you run the Cobra, the PRO Cobra cold air intake, your filter sits behind this fog light, so you're gonna have to get behind there anyway. So I would just pull the whole front end apart. Honestly, it'd probably be better just to pull the whole front end apart anyway. And like, I would honestly, with this car, this is a car that I would stack parts with and wait till you have everything. So that way, if you're quick with installing and know what you're doing, you can pull the whole front of the car apart, put everything in, put it back together, and you can essentially do that if you have like pretty much 2 full days to just spend time working on the car. Overall, I haven't really heard any crazy difference in turbo sound or spool or anything like that. So, you know, if you're going for on this car at least, if you're going for fun turbo sounds that are really excessive, upgrading your turbo would definitely be the way to go. I'm still stock turbo, but other than that, I'm full bolt-on now. Except for my intake manifold. if you want to count that. A lot of people don't count the intake manifold on this car, just because not a lot of people run aftermarket intake manifolds. And if you're in the market for one, Skunk 2 is the only company that I'm aware of right now at this point that has a intake manifold for this car, and that will actually be my next order that I place, and that will also be the last thing to finish full bolt on other than big turbo. So Skunk 2 intake manifold is next, and then I already have the if you don't know, Honda, when they discontinued their last injectors, they came out with a revised version. So I have the revised version of injectors now with all the clips, the 90-degree elbow that connects to the fuel rail, all that. So I'm going to do injectors at the same time as I pull the manifold out, because when I pull the stock manifold out to put the new one in, the injectors are right there below the manifold. So it makes it easy. Kill two birds with one stone. And yeah, but overall, that's just a new install. Like I said, that little coupler, if you order the PLM one, I know PLM, like I have their whole turbo back, and now their turbo inlet. So you know, I run their catted down, or their catted down pipe, their front pipe, and now their turbo inlet. So I have, you know, I have some parts from them. I trust them. I like their parts a lot. Their parts are really high quality, and I love them. Honestly, I've heard stories of, I'm not bashing PRL at all because I have PRL Cobra Cooler intake, but I've heard stories of people, people's PRL Cobra Cooler, or not Cooler intakes, PRL's catted down pipe cracking if they run an open face grill like this, because, you know, obviously the metal heats up and then the water gets to it and it'll end up cracking. So far, I haven't had a single crack yet running the PLM one, and I still make pretty good power on PLM considering my tuner was only able to pull timing. So you know, that's just kind of the breakdown right now. If you want to know numbers right now, pre-turbo inlet on my dyno tune, I was making 257 to the wheel and then 290 wheel torque as well. So my numbers they're kind of mid, but like I said, with only pulling timing, you're not going to get crazy good numbers. Yeah, my next thing is going to be big intake manifold, obviously fuel injectors, and then hopefully maybe big turbo by December, and then the car will be completely full bolt on and it'll be done there. I don't know, part of me's thinking just keep stock turbo. Stock turbo hasn't failed yet, it's reliable. You know, so I'm contemplating that and just saving money so I can buy something else later. I'm gonna keep this car always, but you know, in terms of buying something else, like I want a Skyline really bad, so Skyline, I can save up for a Skyline. It's gonna be a long journey to save up for that, but because I just kind of want to go buy it outright in cash. So yeah, but yeah, overall no issues with it. I need to figure out my knot count situation, which I have a couple ideas that are floating around in my head as to why the knot count is going up, but I don't know. So yeah, but overall that's the install. That's PLM right there. That is their turbo inlet kit. You know, like I said, it's cool, good kit. Overall I like it. I don't know, like I know PRL makes one. I don't know how PRL's even looks, just because I'm in Northern Nevada. I'm in outside of Reno, and not too many 1.5 turbos, whether it be the EXT or the SI, pull up to car meets or anything. So at least any that are any sort of bolt on at all. So I don't know how PRL's turbo inlet looks, anything on that, but I know PLM, I like it. It's good. It'll fit a lot of aftermarket air intakes. So this opening is really big. I had a way to kind of make it janky and kind of flow up, instead of having to clamp this completely tight to it and kind of close the circulation of the pipe. But that's just what I ended up doing. I had another idea, but I did it, and then it would cause me to have to cut this and slide this back more and cover up my beautiful colors, and I didn't want to do that. So I installed it how I installed it. No check engine lights, no nothing like that. As of the power difference it makes over factory, I have no idea right now. Like I said, I haven't hit the dyno. I just finished installing it last night, or no, Thursday night.